congratulations to all the award winners. So you won a sustainability award, which essentially means that you are contributing to the betterment of society. And for that, you have my gratitude. As you look ahead towards continuing that journey, chances are you will encounter barriers, you will encounter concerns, pushback, etc. within your organization. So over the next 10 minutes, I would like to give you some practical advice on how to deal with some of these real-life corporate barriers that you will face as you accelerate your efforts towards a truly sustainable business. And the first tip is right here in the headline. What if we looked at sustainability not as a risk reduction exercise or a regulatory chore or even just the right thing to do, but we looked at it as a competitive advantage? I can guarantee you, if you think about it that way, already that unlocks some new thinking inside our organizations. Now, regardless of how progressive your organization is, you will have heard these words before. In fact, yes, but are words we hear in every organization. You know, it could be a government entity, could be a sports club actually, an NGO, and companies big and small. So what do we do when we hear yes, but? Let's look at some of the most common concerns one by one. So the first one goes, yes, but I need to hit my quarterly targets, and you know, this stuff just doesn't pay back fast enough. So let's be clear. Caring about all your stakeholders, including the planet, is much, much harder than just caring about your bottom line. So this tension is real. The pragmatic way out of the dilemma is to just keep moving in the right direction. It does not matter whether you are on the walk, run, fly continuum, because the more you do, the more actually you can do. So it's about creating momentum that matters. One possible way to start is by making the already good work you are doing visible to all your stakeholders, both internally and externally. That's a communications shift. A next stage could be to look at all your products and services and add more ethical options. That's what we call a portfolio shift. And finally, a more ambitious endeavor is to transform your entire business with sustainability at the core. The latter often takes a lot of time and also feels impossible, or at least improbable, to many stakeholders. That's why you start with walking and running before you fly. Attempts to go straight to reinventing your entire business usually invite paralysis. It's simply too complex of an exercise to be done fast or first. Each of these stages can be approached in a systematic way. The first work stream starts with examining all your current initiatives to assess which could deliver the biggest reputational gain. Your stakeholders want to know what you're doing already, and that includes employees. The second work stream is a matter of getting to know your customers really well, identifying unmet needs, and innovating against those needs with a test and learn mindset. Finally, creating a new business model is truly a multifunctional visioning exercise that looks at every aspect of the business. It should be CEO-led, inclusive, and is likely to lead to organizational redesign. Let's look at the second yes but. It relates to the customers we're serving. It's a valid question. How do we know that our customers are ready? Well, the exact answer will depend on your specific industry and your specific situation. But there's a significant body of research showing that consumers are ready. They desire most sustainable products and services, and they expect corporations to do their part. Where they do need help, though, is the how. How should that look like? All of us have a business opportunity to reinvent the future that our consumers already want to see. But don't rely on them to tell us what that should look like. That is our job. Yes, but number 3. Well, yes, but this place has a legacy culture and that is highly resistant to change. This is also called path dependency, which means people get stuck in legacy protocols. This is how we've always done it, is a common phrase. The remedy against this concern is to bust through so-called limiting assumptions, which can be found everywhere, in ingrained processes, in the way we measure things, even in the language that is being used in the corporation. The best way to bust through these assumptions is through asking questions. We call them assumption-killing questions. And here's a good one. If you knew that sustainable propositions unlock double-digit growth, how would you approach things differently? Truly a powerful question. Now, bigger organizational change happens when we bring along every single employee. And we know when employees are more likely to change their thinking and their behavior. Number one, if it's easy to do. Number two, if they know how to change. Number three, when they see others around them change. And number four, and last but not least, when they understand the why. Why is the change meaningful? So as leaders, we must create the right organizational climate, which can be done by mirroring these four motivations. Number one, making sure that ideation and innovation can happen organically. Number two, by assessing skill levels and providing the required additional knowledge and skills. Number three, through inviting participation and also reporting transparently on progress. And four, most importantly, by articulating a corporate sustainability vision that explains the why to everyone. Our final yes but. Well, but it's hard to know what to prioritize. Where to start, what to focus on. Yes, the sustainability journey can feel overwhelming, often in a positive way. So many good ideas one could actually execute. There are several models you can use to structure the thinking. Here's one, summarizing a bit what we've seen in the last couple of minutes. At the top is strategy. Does my company have a purpose that is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals? Where do we stand compared to industry benchmarks and our competition? These questions help the organization understand the why. They also set the North Star for your acceleration roadmap. Next is customer experience. Have we segmented our customers with regards to the desire for sustainable solutions? What are their pain points? What are their unmet needs? By mapping the entire customer journey, we can discover numerous intervention points towards more sustainable business practices. Number three is go-to-market. This is the design of new sustainable solutions and their commercialization. This involves everything from making sustainability core to the innovation process, all the way to reviewing how initiatives once launched get measured. And finally, there's culture. And culture should not be looked upon as job number four. In fact, culture is something that runs in parallel to everything else. Now, the exact composition of this grid, the line items and the exercises we do will depend on the type of organization and your stated goals. But the process is the same. You determine where you are on the continuum, and that will help you prioritize actions towards the most sustainable future enterprise. In summary, whether you're part of government, in a corporate leadership role, or simply an individual citizen and customer, we all share the same principle. Sustainability is a journey. You can also call it a race without a finish line. So it is in that sense that I would like to leave you with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. Thank you.